Capricorn, hi. So this is going to be a reading for January 26th through February 1st. And I'll do the reading for you, and then I'll close it off with a oracle card. And these are general readings, so they may not resonate for all of you. If they do, there is an extended at the end of the video. You can check out the link for that in the description box below if you want. Can we not play with Mama's signs and stuff? Thank you very much. Thank you for your service. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Cappy. What do we got? All right, the overall energy for the reading, the Two of Pentacles. Why does this look like you're dealing with a little too much at a time here? There's some energies that are kind of intermingled there, and it creates this feeling of, I got too much on my plate, you know? In the recent past, the Death card, the Knight of Pentacles, the Empress. You are done with something there, but which feels better and beyond better. It feels like it gives you a sense of stepping into your power once you're done with whatever that is. It does seem like a pretty lengthy process, though, of you being done with something there. So it took you a minute, but it definitely helped you step into your power big time. In the current situation, the Three of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, the King of Wands, this is a little bit of a desperate type of an energy, just a tiny little bit, because it reflects a sense of really clinging onto an energy of either coming together with someone or spending time with someone or with more people. I don't know. There's that I need to see you more, or we need to do more stuff together, or stuff like that. Which, if that may be a need in itself, yeah, it's okay, but not when it has this type of need, like we need to do this, goddammit, because then it becomes controlling. Like, okay, it's okay to need that, but leave it at needing that, not trying to control things to go in that direction. Like, well, we have to see each other more, so we're gonna see each other every fucking day because that's what needs to happen here. No, it doesn't need to happen, or something like, I don't know whose energy this is. If it's yours, if it's not your energy, you're gonna feel this as pressuring, because it is becoming a little controlling. It's going to feel like one of those, maybe you haven't seen a friend in a while, and they're like, well, we have to see each other this week, goddammit. And maybe you can this week. And it's like, well, I feel pressure now to go and see them because, they make me feel bad or something. And it's like, no, they're not making you feel bad. They're just forcing the situation to happen, which makes you feel a certain way, yes. But you don't have to respond to it. Also, if you're busy, you're busy. What the fuck? Well, yeah, but they're pushing. Let them. Or in the reverse scenario, it could be you doing that. So I don't know who this is, but in the immediate future, the King of Cups, the Eight of Swords, the Eight of Wands. This is a little bit of a confusing type of an energy that's being put out there, in the sense of, I see someone meaning well here. They mean the best for whatever the situation is. But the way the energy is coming through eventually is filtered through a lot of chaos in the mind. So as well intended as this energy might be, it might come out very confusing. Whether that's you saying something to someone or doing something in the direction of another energy. Let's clarify. Let's do the Two of Pentacles. For the Two of Pentacles, you get the Six of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, the Four of Wands.
Yeah, that's why there's this need, and it is a need.
because I feel like something is kind of overwhelming you a little bit, and from that you have the tendency to lean towards a familiar place, right? So you would maybe want to spend more time with family, friends, people you consider close to you. That's natural from what I'm seeing here. Make sure you don't turn that into a forceful situation, like I need help here. It's your way of dealing with you feeling overwhelmed by something. And it's an energy that's a little bit subtle, a little bit hidden, that you're not necessarily going to notice. But because you're feeling a little overwhelmed with something, that's your alternative. That's your go-to right now to not feel overwhelmed anymore. Like, I would like to be surrounded by familiar energies, which again, great need, great way to deal with that pressure that you may feel towards something. Make sure you don't push too much with that energy, because then it becomes controlling. And as I said, whoever's taking this energy might feel pressured. Do you want your family to come there next to you because they're feeling pressured, or do you want them to be there because they want to? Well, yeah, but your needs are important, yes, but their needs are too. You know, especially because they're people close to you. So I don't think you would want this pressure put on them. For the Death card in the recent past, you get the Page of Wands, the Ten of Wands, the Star. This has been, whatever you ended there, whatever that situation is, it's been working, kinda still working towards the end of it, at least. It was still running, but it was very hard. It was very hard to keep up with whatever it is, so it only made sense, I'm assuming, to just end it. To just be like, okay, it's at this point it's too hard, so I think this should be done. You know? So there was still a little bit of maybe openness to keep it running, but that's about it. The rest of it felt pretty hard. So I think that's what ended that. For the Knight of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, the Nine of Cups, the Two of Pentacles. And it's not for the lack of trying. That's why it seems like it's been a long process to shut it down, because I feel like for the longest time you may have tried to make it work. You know, you may have tried all sorts of things, like, okay, we're going to try this and we're going to try that, and you held that intention to make it work for the longest time, until you reached a place of no return of, I don't know what the fuck to do anymore, you know? Let me do the Empress. In the recent past, the King of Pentacles, the Lovers, the King of Swords. Whatever happened at the end here, you seem to have handled it like a fucking pro. You know, like you're showing up at the end of it being like, I know exactly what I'm doing. And you look exactly like that statement. Like, I got this. I'm on top of the game here. I'm good. I got this. Super stepping into your power there. I don't know how you managed to maybe end that. I can't tell if it has been ended or not eventually. I do see that energy there. I don't know, but you're the one that handled it eventually. So you're the one that either ended it or didn't end it, you know? Whatever you did with it. But you did handle it like a pro, whatever course you gave it. For the Three of Cups, in the current situation, you get the Eight of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles. That's where this need comes from. This need to and it's kind of an instinctual need for most of us when we're struggling with things, to lean in the direction of energies that understand us, that are resonating with us, that feel good to us. Because the struggling energies is like, it's a little too much. I would like something lighter now. So it's kind of normal what's happening here. Because you're dealing with something in particular that, again, could be pressing. Maybe you don't know what to do about it. Maybe, I don't know. It creates these energies of a little down there. You're Your way of freeing yourself from that a little bit is by moving in the direction of energies that do you good, which again, awesome approach. It's the how you do this that's gonna matter here. For the Four of Pentacles, in the current situation, you get the Judgment card, the Knight of Wands, and the Empress. Yeah, you get this. And you don't even make it look that way. You don't make it look forceful. You don't make it look controlling. If this is you, you make it look charming. Like, it's impossible for them to resist me when I come up with this proposition of, hey, let's, I don't know, have a movie night at my place. And it's like, you know, but God forbid they say, maybe I have other plans, or I don't know if I'm going to make it that night, because that's when this energy shows up as pushing it even more. And still trying to push it from that very charming aspect, to not make it look as if you control the situation or anything, or you're trying to. So you're going to up that charm, basically. It's like, I got the tools. I know what to do. I know how to convince them. So don't you think that's control, then? I need to get them here for that movie night. For the King of Wands, in the current situation, you get the Five of Pentacles, the Devil, the Emperor. You're dealing with someone that is, I mean, this looks like the closest energy to you at this moment in time, and it doesn't have to be the person you're thinking of in the physical. This is energy. So this is the one that's connected most to your energy at this moment in time. Whoever this is struggling a little bit with either a loss of some sort, or a separation, or something that is looking to be a little unhealthy for them, but they have to do it. In order for them to step back into their power, to claim themselves, they have to do it. So I would assume that's where your energy is directed towards, in terms of, do you want to have a movie night at my place? It's like, if this is the energy you're dealing with, you can't go just based off of your needs. You have to take into consideration their journey at this moment in time, because it's not looking pretty, and it's their own personal one. You know, it's on them, whatever this is. But you can't be like, because look, you're coming from the angle of, I think that would be good for them. You don't know what's good for them, ultimately. You know, so ask, yes. Go ahead and send the invitation. But whatever comes back, you know? Don't try to push back. Well, no, because I see they don't really want to, but man, I really think it would do them good. So I'm going to tell them that, and I'm going to try to convince them that this will do them good, when ultimately you're doing it for you, because it makes you think that it would make you feel good, because you're dealing with other shit that, you know, you can't, it's not that you can't, you don't want. You want to break from it. So you want energies that are close to you, and this is one of them. But again, remember, we're each on a journey here, and it might be very different. The places that we're on our own individual path. For the King of Cups, in the immediate future, you get the Wheel of Fortune, the Four of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords. Okay. I think this is you trying a different approach. An approach from which you're coming from your heart, with whatever it is that you're doing. You're not coming from your need anymore. You're coming from your heart, from the place of, I want to be loving to whoever, whatever. I want to, you know, I want to be open and stay open to whatever. So whatever you do in that direction that you're heading into, I feel like you're trying the approach of creating space for the situation, not having expectations, not trying to control it, just creating space. And this is you saying, I'm going to try this. And then this is you trying that with the Eight of Swords. Let me see what the Eight of Swords has. The Eight of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Temperance card. Because that, in theory, seems like a good idea. Let me try to open up to this and create space for the situation, rather than create the space for the situation, you know, trying to control that space and how that should look like. But the problem is when this good idea in theory comes to the surface and you want to implement it, you're telling me, but I'm so used to doing things the other way. So it's going to be pretty hard, if not close to impossible. Even though this idea works well in theory, I don't know if I can apply it. I don't know if I can do that because, you know, it's instilled within me that no, I claim that space or something. So the idea of trying a different approach, because you might get different results usually, is great. Now, how you implement it, the old way is coming to the surface. It wants to break through. It wants to do things the same way, where you're almost claiming something here. Let me do the 8 of Wands in the immediate future. The 3 of Pentacles, the Sun, the 6 of Wands. And I get the intention, and I'm sure whoever's at the other end of this gets the intention, because I can see this is a pretty solid bond. And I get the intention that you're coming in with, and that is of love, of I want to support you, I want to be there with a lot of love, just like you are always for me type of thing. So that is the ultimate intention. It's the how. It's almost like you're trying to learn how to create space for someone, not despite your needs, but with your needs being taken into consideration too, but not trying to create a controlling environment based off of your needs and then twist it as if, but I think this would be good for you, you know? So it's like trying to learn to create space rather than control it, you know, which is nice. It's a nice idea. It's a nice approach. The way it's coming out, there's still practice that needs to be put in there, but you know, it's a nice way of looking at things. From the universe for you as a final advice, you get the 4 of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the World card. It's just, you know, trying to fall off of expectations here, basically. Just because you need something to deal with your journey and you need something outside of your journey to make you feel better, doesn't mean that whatever it is you're aiming at is available at that moment in time. Can you accept that? Well, no, but I need it now. Well, how about 5 minutes later? No, now. Well, expectation, release, therapy. No, because you're setting yourself up. You're automatically assuming that this energy is going to be available because it's, you know, it's that energetical type of a bond that you have, so they're always there. What if they're not right then and there? Well, I get upset. Exactly. Expectation. So can there be a little more flexibility, or just dropping of the expectations altogether? You know, because if you don't, something has to happen in order to fulfill your expectations, you know, and that's when you show up as starting to push it. Do you want that energy for you to show up as controlling ultimately, and somebody showing up eventually, but not because they want to necessarily? I don't think you want that. So it's a whole type of a hamster wheel you're kind of running on right now, created by your own expectations. And I see you wanting to be done with that crap. Okay, well, I don't want to set myself up anymore. Then don't. And you are trying to not do that anymore. So anyways, that's what I have for you. Hope this helped, and I'll see you next time. Bye.